Richard, we always bring you in here to talk sports, whether it's San Antonio Spurs or the Houston Astros, everything, really, you name it. But today we want to talk about San Antonio sports specifically, especially because you've played a prominent role in this community with your background with the San Antonio Express News, as well as your beloved TV personality with Fox Sports West. You've been able to see firsthand how the power of sports can impact a community. How has San Antonio sports shaped this city?
It really has. You know, one of the things that we find about sports in San Antonio and the power of sports is that it's a unifier. I mean, when you look at what San Antonio sports has done, especially with the young people of this community, their programs, after school programs, all the kind of different things, the concentration on, and it's easy to talk about getting better at sports, whether it was fencing or basketball or track and field or swimming, all the different things that they concentrate on. What they talk about, though, is the character of sports, with the lessons that you learn from sports. And that really is what, when you get to the young folks and you instill those kind of values in them early on, that's when they grow up and become something special in the community and know, listen, sports is about teamwork, it's about giving back, it's about all the different things, helping somebody up when they're down. It's about losing and about winning. And those are the kind of things that as adults, we hope, San Antonio Sports hopes, they pass on to their kids. And that's where San Antonio gets a really special dose of some great things, because that's what San Antonio Sports brings to this community.
You mentioned the youth sports, and with whether it's camps, whether it's clinics, or just leagues in general, it seems to be an area where that is continuously growing, and also more funds are available. How has the San Antonio sports community impacted the economic development of this city?
Well, and not only the kids, but when you talk about what San Antonio Sports has done to plug into bringing events here, a little thing called the Final Four. They're pretty involved in that. And a lot of the, you know, when you look at those kind of things that come in, and you talk about the ripple effect of a Final Four, and not only with what it could do for a community's economic side of things, because we know at the Final Four, more than $100 million of economic value when you get something like that coming into the community. San Antonio Sports, by bringing in those things, they take that, a lot of that money that comes into the community, or that San Antonio Sports benefits from the fundraising of, goes right back to those youth programs.
How has the success of these pro teams, the success of sports in San Antonio affected those pockets and those communities?
Well, and again, we go back to the idea that, you know, whether it's the Spurs or the Final Four, or just the different kind of things that happen with soccer and some different sports that kids can play, and they aspire to that. They aspire to, listen, I want to be like the San Antonio Spur, and a lot of the Spurs will go down in the community and talk to kids, no matter their socioeconomic strata. I mean, they just want to talk to kids and be a part of that. I want to play soccer. You know, I want to be like a San Antonio FC. I want to do those kind of things. They have something to look at and something to kind of aim at. But I like the fact that, especially about sports being that unifier. It doesn't matter if you're on the south side or the west side, or you're areas up north, maybe they're more affluent, just some different parts. When you're playing sports, when you're on the field, and you played sports, Jill, you know about this, you know, when you're on the field playing in a competitive setting, it's just you and me. It doesn't matter, you know, what uniform you're wearing, no matter what. Here's a soccer ball, there's that net, there's that net. Let's just get out there and see what we could do and play against each other and compete. Those are the life lessons that you learn, that there's value in that inside those lines, when you get out and play sports, you're learning value, you're learning character, you're learning winning, you're learning losing, and that's the power of sport. I go back to that. I love that slogan. It's the power of sport. It's a great unifier.
Richard, you know, I've only been here a couple months now, but the very first thing I picked up in my time here, San Antonio loves its sports, and the people here love this culture, this sports city. And like you said, it's the power of sports.
Absolutely. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. Richard, thank you.
No, my pleasure.